Hey y'all, if you are looking to get more out of AI, or if you have a website that you need to build really quickly, I want you to watch this video. Because my name is Hector Santiesteban, and I've spent much of the last decade trying to figure out how to leverage technology to create more media and more content. And over the last several years, I've been diving into how we can leverage AI to save us time and also money when it comes to running a business. And so I recently needed to set up a new domain and a new website. We just launched our new company and our new business called AI Success Solutions, and we needed a website. And typically this would have taken months, weeks even, and it would have taken lots of time, lots of money, perhaps thousands of dollars for us to be able to do, if we ever did it at all, because it might have been one of those projects that sat on the shelf and said, we'll get to it when we can. But what's nice about where AI is today is that not only can it write things for you, a lot of people know about it being able to write stuff, and a lot of people are using it and leveraging it to write content for them, social media posts, maybe even website copy. But what's cool about where AI is now is that you can also leverage AI to code and develop your own websites, and you'll be able to tweak it and refine it in ways that you would never thought was possible. And so what used to take lots of time, weeks, and lots of money, thousands of dollars, and a really experienced website developer can now be done in just a few prompts. And so behind me, you'll see our website. And so this was a website that was completely designed and enabled through AI. Now, I have to tell you that it took about 3 hours total for us to be able to do this, and it was completely done alongside a human. I would have loved to be able to say that I one-shotted this and said, create me a website about this, and out just came this website. That wasn't the case. What it took was 2 separate conversations with Gemini, with my AI tool, and also a hosting provider that allows us to be able to easily host these HTML websites. But other than that, that was it. And we were able to get it done in less than 3 hours. And you'll see here, it's not a perfect website. There are some things that I still want to go back and I still want to adjust, but it is something that is for me, I think it's good enough. It's good enough to get started, right? It's a great MVP, it's a great iteration, and what's nice is that, again, this is the starting point, and what if we can do this in 3 hours, what can we do on the projects that warrant spending and investing more time into them? So let's take a look at how we did it. And I mentioned that it came from 2 separate conversations. The first was we were developing the copy and really the branding. And so you'll see here that the first thing that we did is we had the Gemini act as a chief messaging strategist, because what we wanted to do was we really wanted to identify what are the words, what is the messaging that is going to convey what it is that we're trying to convey. We had an idea of what we were going to do. We knew the products and the services that we were going to offer. We knew that the people that we were going to offer it to, but we didn't know exactly how we were going to say it. And you'll see that this really lays it out here. And so in this prompt, right, are built in to a couple of things. The first is the instructions. And you'll see here that we have an interrogation phase. And that's basically where the AI is designed to ask us questions to be able to figure out what it is that we're trying to accomplish. And so it has a deep understanding of what it is that we're trying to do. And I'll show you how that plays out. And then we also gave it very specific details on what it is that we wanted it to give us. We told it all of the different ways that we wanted it to be able to format it. We told it all of the different hooks and all of the different angles, all of the different things that we wanted to make sure that it got out of this messaging exercise. And so we had done some work a little bit before in figuring out what's our core messaging, what's our brand, right? And so we paste in these things to get started. And you'll see here that it started to give me some questions, 1, 2, 3, 4 questions, to which I answered back. And I gave it some answers. It took that, and then it was able to incorporate that into actually what it called here our master copy packet, our brand DNA. And again, this was just the first iteration. And so we put that into our canvas here was designed so that we can work on it here in a sort of document-like setting. And this allows us to be able to make small edits, small adjustments, and it also allows us to be able to make adjustments and ask the AI to make adjustments to specific parts of it. And so you'll see here that there's some refinement that's going on. We asked for some different things, including the keywords. But now what we do is we can take this, and we're going to take this, and we're going to give it to our website designer. Now you'll see that I used a different conversation because it's really a different function. At the beginning, yes, that first conversation was really acting as a brand strategist and a messaging person. But the way that I think of it is that if it's going to be sort of a different function, or if it might be like a different role, someone who I would take it to on a different team or a different person on the team, I'm going to use a different conversation, and I'm going to try and give them as much data and as much info, as much context from the previous conversation, but I'm going to do it in a new conversation so that the functions remain clear and it doesn't really get cloudy. I found that that's to be a good practice, is to really separate it by function. Now you'll see on this conversation, I went through and gave it a couple more clarification, and I gave it some more details, especially with regards to the coloring and the fonts. So that way it has a really clear idea of the visual blueprint as well. So this is really here to help me design the visual look. The first conversation was really about the messaging. This one here really laid out the visual branding and the visual concepts. And a couple of prompts down, you'll see I actually have it start to write the website. And I use a couple of, sort of prompt tricks or prompt hacks to get the best output. But essentially, I'm having it write all of the copy that it's going to actually plug in to the website. And so we're creating these things in stages, and we're creating them in phases, so that way the output is actually closer to what it is that we are trying to accomplish and doesn't get so far away from the vision that we have in our head. And so you see that it writes all of the copy. And then at a certain point, I asked to put it in the canvas, and it actually jumped ahead and it started to just design the website. And so we gave it a couple more things. I gave it the logos. I had that designed in a separate conversation. I gave it some more instructions and some more feedback here in terms of different things to be able to add into the website. But once we did that, we were able to get a code, right, that was written right all here in Gemini. And you can see here that you can preview it right here in Gemini as well, and you can sort of make adjustments to the code, and that will be reflected right here. And then we took this HTML and we put that onto our website, and we hosted that there, and that's for a different video. But if you have any sort of Wix or Squarespace or Go High Level or most website builders will allow you to host and embed a HTML website. And so if you have this code, all you have to do is copy and paste that into a block, and oftentimes that's all that you need to do. And so again, within a matter of a few hours, we were able to go from no branding to having a complete website fully functional and ready to start accepting leads. And so if you are thinking that AI is great, but you don't need it to write your social media posts, or you don't do a lot of email marketing, you might not be seeing the value and the potential that it can create for your business. Because what's nice is that we did this for a homepage, but you can take the same strategy and you can take the same process and spin up different landing pages or spin up different individual pages. Or today we have a prospect that we spun up a quick little website to show them what a project might look like to do for them. And so you can all of a sudden take what used to, again, take weeks, sometimes even months, and thousands of dollars, and condense it into a simple Google subscription, right? We get this with our $12, $20 a month plan, and that's it. And all of the tools are sort of come provided in there. So hopefully that gives you some ideas. Hopefully that gives you some insights on what you can do. If you have questions, go ahead and put those in the chat. And if you want a library of my prompts and the ones that I use, check the description or just comment library, and I'll send that to you as well.